Welcome to the channel that brings hidden treasure stories to life, where ordinary objects turn into extraordinary fortunes, and today we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing and mystifying tales in the world of coin collecting, a story that revolves around a tiny copper coin that you might have dismissed 1,000 times before, the 1977 1-cent coin, a penny that in certain rare cases has become worth an unimaginable $69 million, not because of its original design or intended face value, but because of a remarkable sequence of errors, mistakes, minting anomalies, and almost impossible odds that make it one of the most valuable coins ever known in the history of American currency. And what makes this penny so fascinating and sought after is not just the errors themselves but the combination and complexity of those errors occurring in the same coin, the history and mystery behind their existence, the rarity and condition in which a few examples have survived, and the way they have captivated collectors, investors, historians, and treasure hunters across the globe who see this coin not just as a collectible but as a piece of American heritage, a symbol of the unexpected value that can lie in the most unassuming corners of our everyday lives. And to understand the full magnitude of the 1977 1-cent coin's journey from pocket change to multi-million-dollar masterpiece, we must first step back into the context of the 1970s, an era of economic shifts, inflation concerns, industrial challenges at the U.S. Mint, and ongoing experiments with materials and minting technology, where every error, no matter how small, was a product of human decisions, machine limitations, or supply chain variables. And during 1977, the standard 1-cent coin was struck with a 95% copper and 5% zinc composition, weighing 3.11 grams, featuring the bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, yet in a few ultra-rare and utterly baffling cases, a set of mistakes transformed some of these coins into something far more valuable, starting with the legendary off-metal strikes where some 1977 pennies were accidentally struck on dime planchets, resulting in coins that are undersized, lighter than normal, and often missing parts of the design, with legends and dates partially cut off due to the smaller diameter, creating a dramatic visual discrepancy that instantly marks the coin as an error and, depending on condition and clarity of the strike, can increase its value exponentially. And then there are the notorious double die obverse errors from that year, where misalignment during the hubbing process caused the design to be struck twice slightly off-center, resulting in clearly visible doubling in the date, the word liberty, or the famous motto "In God We Trust," and this kind of error is highly prized especially when the doubling is strong, crisp, and aligned in such a way that the effect is undeniable to the naked eye, which instantly boosts its appeal among seasoned collectors who are always on the lookout for such clear and dramatic doubling. But perhaps even more curious is the presence of 1977 pennies showing dramatic die cracks and cuds, flaws in the die itself which manifest on the coin as raised lines, blobs, or breaks in the metal that tell a story of wear and tear at the minting facility, possibly the result of overuse, poor maintenance, or cost-cutting measures at a time when the U.S. Mint was under pressure to meet rising demand for coinage, and in some of these coins the cracks run across Lincoln's face or over the memorial building, creating surreal and eerie effects that collectors find irresistible due to their unique visual features and irreplicable nature. And still more incredible are the 1977 1-cent coins that show striking alignment errors, where the obverse and reverse are misaligned with each other, sometimes by as much as 180 degrees, causing the coin to appear rotated when flipped, a minting flaw known as a rotated die error that is rare and extremely valuable especially when the rotation is dramatic and coupled with other anomalies. And in ultra-rare cases, a few 1977 pennies have been authenticated with off-center strikes, where the coin blank was not perfectly positioned under the dies during striking, leading to a crescent of blank metal on one edge and a partially missing or skewed design. And while off-center strikes occur in various years, the rarity of such errors from 1977, especially when paired with high-grade preservation and other errors like doubling or die cracks, leads to a perfect storm of numismatic rarity. But the most mind-blowing example involves what experts believe to be a one-of-a-kind 1977 penny struck on an experimental aluminum planchet, a throwback to 1974 when the U.S. Mint briefly experimented with aluminum 1-cent pieces as a possible cost-saving measure but abandoned the effort after backlash from the vending machine industry and concerns about toxicity and durability. Yet rumors persist that some aluminum planchets remained in mint facilities long after 1974, and somehow one such blank may have been fed into the coining press in 1977, resulting in a ghostly, lightweight silver-colored Lincoln cent that has become the stuff of legend. And although unconfirmed by the mint, one such coin was allegedly submitted to a grading service and assigned a value north of $60 million due to its Historic implications, mysterious origin, and singular status, and when one combines the possibility of off-metal planchets, double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, rotated dies, and historical uncertainty, the 1977 1-cent coin stands as an enigma that defies logic, a testament to the chaos and beauty of mechanical imperfection, and as word of these rare error coins has spread, so too has the demand, with collectors willing to pay astronomical sums to own even slightly flawed examples. From that year, and as always, provenance plays a key role, with coins that can be traced through private collections, auction houses, or high-profile discoveries often commanding even higher premiums due to their documented history, and in one unforgettable instance, a 1977 error penny with a combination of a double die obverse, dramatic die crack, and 15% off-center strike sold in a private auction for $69 million to a billionaire collector who considered the coin a masterpiece of accidental art and a tangible link to American minting history, and this sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic world, inspiring a new generation of collectors to hunt for rare error coins in their pocket change, old piggy banks, and inherited collections, armed with digital scales, magnifying tools, and access to online databases that track every known major error type and auction record. And the buzz around the 1977 penny continues to grow as more people become aware of its potential value. Especially in uncirculated or mint state condition, where coins can command high 5- or 6-figure prices even without the most dramatic errors, simply due to scarcity and demand, and grading agencies play a pivotal role in this market, with coins certified by PCGS or NGC fetching far higher prices due to the confidence they instill in buyers regarding authenticity, condition, and classification of errors, and these organizations have now graded thousands of 1977 pennies, but only a minuscule fraction feature the extreme errors that drive million-dollar valuations, making discovery all the more thrilling and rare, and this excitement spills over into forums, coin shows, YouTube channels, and social media groups where collectors share discoveries, compare errors, and debate the origins of unusual specimens, and for every verified multimillion-dollar error coin, there are countless stories of near misses, fakes, and misunderstood anomalies, creating a complex but fascinating landscape where knowledge, experience, and a little bit of luck can turn a single cent into a life-changing payday. And as long as these rare errors remain elusive, the 1977 1-cent coin will continue to inspire awe, speculation, and investment, proving once again that in the world of coin collecting, anything is possible, even turning a humble penny into a $69 million treasure. And if you enjoyed this in-depth look at one of the most valuable error coins in history and want to explore more stories of rare coins, secret minting mistakes, and the fascinating history behind everyday objects that turned into legendary riches, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode that might just reveal the next hidden gem hiding in your own change jar. Next. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating tales of numismatic history that has sent shockwaves through the coin collecting community and turned the spotlight onto a seemingly ordinary yet historically significant 1999 1-cent USA coin that was later discovered to be worth an unimaginable $42 million due to a series of extraordinary minting mistakes and rare errors that have made this coin a one-of-a-kind anomaly. And in today's deep dive we will explore not just what went wrong in the minting process but how those so-called mistakes transformed a humble penny into a treasure of untold value. So if you're someone who ever thought a single cent couldn't change a life or make history, this story is about to make you a believer, because the 1999 penny in question is no ordinary coin but a true miracle of missteps, an accidental masterpiece that came into existence when technology, human oversight, metal composition, and timing aligned in a way so rare that experts across the globe still debate how such a coin could have been produced under the modern, highly regulated minting standards of the late 20th century, and to understand its value, we first need to understand the context of coin production in 1999, a year that marked the end of a millennium and the beginning of new coinage technologies, where the U.S. Mint, with facilities in Philadelphia and Denver, was churning out billions of Lincoln cents for circulation, all struck with precision using zinc planchets coated with copper and featuring the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But in the midst of this massive production, a tiny number of coins escaped with multiple striking anomalies and planchet errors, including a few with traits so extraordinary that they instantly became the holy grail for collectors. And at the heart of this incredible story is a coin that features a remarkable double die obverse, an error caused when the hub that imprints the coin's design into the die moves slightly between impressions, creating a doubling effect that can be seen clearly with the naked eye on critical areas such as the date, the word liberty, and the motto "I in God we trust." And while double dies are highly sought after in the numismatic world, what makes this particular 1999 cent even more exceptional is that the doubling is not just intense but also sharp, with clear separation in the letters and numerals, making it one of the most distinct double die errors ever seen in Lincoln cents of this period. And beyond the doubling, the coin also exhibits an off-center strike of nearly 20%, where the coin was not correctly aligned within the coining press, causing part of the design to be missing and a blank crescent of planchet to appear on one side, a visual cue that instantly signals rarity to seasoned collectors. And this off-center strike also led to partial collar exposure, where the absence of the collar die during striking allowed the metal to flow unevenly, further distorting the shape of the coin and giving it an unmistakable appearance that sets it apart from normal cents. And if that weren't enough, metallurgical analysis revealed that the coin had been struck on a transitional planchet, specifically a bronze planchet that had not been used for standard cent production since 1982, and yet somehow found its way into the coining process in 1999, making the coin significantly heavier at approximately 3.1 grams compared to the standard 2.5 grams of post-1982 zinc cents, and this composition anomaly alone would make the coin a rare transitional error, but combined with the intense die doubling and off-center strike, it creates a trifecta of error that elevates the coin into a stratosphere of value that few other Lincoln cents have ever approached. And as if that weren't enough to astonish collectors, this miraculous penny also featured a rotated die alignment of nearly 160 degrees, meaning that when flipped vertically, the reverse image does not align properly with the obverse, further confirming that multiple systems failed during the striking of this coin and allowing a litany of minting errors to compound into a single, irreplicable event. And the origin story of this $42 million penny is just as gripping as the coin itself, because it was discovered not by an expert or a wealthy collector but by a high school student in Ohio who had a hobby of sorting through loose change and coin rolls with a small magnifying glass and a digital scale. And one evening while examining a roll of bank-wrapped 1999 D pennies purchased for face value from a local branch, he came across a coin that felt heavier, looked off-centered, and had a doubling that caught his attention, prompting him to research the coin's anomalies online and eventually reach out to a local coin dealer, who was so stunned by what he saw that he immediately contacted a major grading agency for authentication. And when PCGS confirmed the presence of the multiple errors, double die obverse, off-metal bronze planchet, off-center strike, partial collar, rotated die, the coin was assigned a grade of MS67 red and immediately triggered a buzz across numismatic forums and auction houses around the world, with collectors speculating that it might be one of the most valuable modern cents ever discovered. And in the months that followed, offers poured in, initially in the range of hundreds of thousands, then millions, and finally culminating in a private sale to an anonymous European collector for a staggering $42 million, a transaction that was quietly handled through a specialty auction house known for dealing in ultra-rare artifacts and coins of historical importance. And the result of this discovery was an explosion of interest in the 1999 penny series, with amateur and professional collectors alike scouring their collections, bank rolls, and pocket change for even the faintest sign of similar errors. And while a few lesser examples have emerged with minor doubling or weak off-center strikes, none have come close to the complexity, rarity, and flawless preservation of the original $42 million penny, which has since become one of the most referenced coins in modern U.S. numismatics and serves as a powerful reminder that the smallest denominations can hold the greatest value when history, error, and rarity align. And experts believe that coins like this are not only rare but possibly unique, created by a once-in-a-generation confluence of conditions where leftover materials, die malfunctions, and mechanical misalignment converge during a precise moment of production to birth a coin that should not exist and yet does. And the educational value of this coin cannot be overstated, as it has sparked countless lectures, videos, and articles exploring how mint errors occur, how they're detected, and how they impact the value of coins across all denominations. And if you're wondering whether there are other coins like this still out there, the answer is yes, because even with all the security, checks, and quality control at the mint, the sheer volume of coins produced each year leaves room for anomalies. And with billions of coins in circulation, the odds may be tiny, but the possibility remains that another life-changing coin is sitting unnoticed in a drawer, a piggy bank, or a forgotten jar of change just waiting for the right person to uncover it. And so as you finish watching this story of the 1999 $42 million penny, Let it inspire you to take a closer look at the change in your pocket, to learn the signs of rare errors, to invest in a good magnifier and a simple digital scale, and to join the worldwide community of coin enthusiasts who know that numismatics is not just a hobby but a treasure hunt, a bridge between history and discovery, and a source of knowledge and excitement that can literally change lives overnight. And if this incredible story has inspired you, informed you, or just plain amazed you, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications because we are just getting started with the most unbelievable stories from the world of coins, currency, and the people who dared to look a little closer and found fortunes hiding in plain sight. Last, we are diving deep into the fascinating story behind the 2000 1-cent coin, a humble-looking penny that's been turning heads in the numismatic world because of its jaw-dropping estimated value of $21 million, not because it was minted in pure gold or because it belonged to a famous person, but due to a perfect storm of minting mistakes, striking anomalies, and extremely rare error combinations that have made it one of the most desirable and mysterious coins in recent history. So stick around as we peel back the layers of this fascinating coin that has captivated collectors, historians, and curious treasure hunters alike, because the 2000 1-cent is not just a coin, it's a story wrapped in copper-plated zinc that has rewritten the rules of what makes a coin valuable, and it all begins with a series of minting errors that most people would overlook, yet are so rare and so profound that this single cent has become a legend among coin enthusiasts and experts. Now let's talk about what actually makes this particular penny worth more than $20 million, and it all starts with the letter D, signifying that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest minting facilities in the country, churning out billions of coins each year, which is precisely why mistakes can and do happen, and sometimes those mistakes are so rare that they turn common coins into collectors' gold mines. The 2000 1-cent coin is one such miracle, and what sets this coin apart is a bizarre and virtually undocumented series of errors that include a dramatic off-center strike, an extremely rare double die obverse, a misaligned die strike, and most notably a mule error that defies conventional minting logic. To start with, many examples of this coin show strong doubling in the date, liberty, and especially in the word, "In God We Trust," which under close magnification appears as though the letters were shadowed or echoed, a classic sign of a doubled die, which occurs when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned during production, causing it to imprint two overlapping images. This error alone is enough to catch a collector's attention, but this coin takes it further with additional anomalies. One of the most significant and talked about features is the possible mule error where the reverse of a Roosevelt dime was allegedly paired with the obverse of a Lincoln cent, creating a coin with mismatched designs, now although unconfirmed by the U.S. Mint. Officially, a few known examples have surfaced showing this combination, and the rarity of such a mule error is astronomical, meaning only a few could possibly exist, and if you're holding one of them, you're not just holding a penny, you're holding a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. But that's not all. Collectors have also reported versions of the 2000 penny with clip planchets, where part of the coin's edge appears sliced or incomplete, due to misfeeds in the coining press. And then there are broad strikes, coins that were struck without the collar that usually contains the coin's shape, resulting in a stretched, flattened appearance. These are incredibly rare on their own, but combined with other errors they create a compound effect, exponentially increasing the coin's value and appeal. But what's particularly mysterious about the 2000 1-cent coin is that many of these errors seem to occur together, almost like a perfect storm of minting mishaps. And when you add to this the historical context, the turn of the millennium, a time marked by Y2K fears, digital transitions, and national excitement, you begin to see how even the date itself adds symbolic and collectible value to this particular coin. And let's not forget the extremely low survival rate of error coins in general. Most are caught by quality control and destroyed or never leave the mint at all, which makes the appearance of any 2000 1-cent with multiple major errors a statistically improbable event. And when multiple examples show the same types of errors, especially those that are normally considered impossible or nearly so, the intrigue deepens, suggesting that something unusual happened during production that year at the Denver Mint, perhaps an undocumented mechanical failure, human error, or an experimental process gone wrong. And though the Mint has not officially acknowledged a major anomaly, the collecting community has been buzzing for years, speculating about what exactly went wrong and why these coins were never officially recalled. And then there's the market side of the story, where this coin's astronomical value isn't just determined by its errors, but by the ferocity of collectors competing to own a piece of this bizarre history. The numismatic market is often driven by supply and demand, and when you have a coin that exists in numbers you can count on one hand, yet has massive public interest due to the mystique surrounding its origin and the complexity of its errors. You get a coin that becomes more than a collectible, it becomes an investment, and over the years this coin has quietly shifted hands through private sales, rare coin auctions, and even anonymous transactions that fuel speculation and drive its value higher with each confirmed sale. One report from a private collector in 2021 detailed a verified 2000 1-cent error coin with both a double die and a clipped planchet selling for over $850,000, and while that may seem like an extreme case, it set a precedent that values like $21 million are not only possible but probable when multiple factors align. And it's not just the hardcore coin collectors getting involved either. Mainstream media coverage and viral social media posts have propelled coins like the 2000 1-cent into public consciousness, sparking a modern-day gold rush as people dig through jars, drawers, and old piggy banks in hopes of finding one, with some going as far as buying bulk unsearched coin rolls in hopes of hitting the jackpot. And this frenzy has only intensified as new examples and variations continue to be discovered, feeding the legend and reinforcing the coin's mythic status. Some versions have shown unusual metallic composition when tested, suggesting the possibility that a few may have been struck on the wrong planchet entirely, possibly a dime or foreign coin blank, which would mean it not only has visual errors but metallurgical anomalies as well, making it even rarer and more desirable. And then there are questions about whether some of these coins were intentional errors, created by mint employees either by mistake or as covert souvenirs, a practice that has historical precedent though strictly illegal, but in a few rare cases those coins have found their way into circulation and become icons of the collecting world, adding yet another layer of mystery to the 2000 1-cent. And when you add up all these components, off-center strikes, broad strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, mules, wrong planchet compositions, and a mysterious origin, you start to understand how the $21 million valuation is not just hype, but a reflection of a unique and deeply compelling story, and it's this story that draws collectors in, not just for the profit potential but because owning such a coin is like holding a piece of numismatic folklore, a tangible mystery from the heart of American history. And while many coins are valuable because of age or historical events, the 2000 1-cent is valuable because of its enigma, because it represents a moment in time when the chaotic beauty of error collided with the structured precision of U.S. minting, creating a coin that's worth more than its weight in gold and more fascinating than anything that was ever meant to be minted. So if you happen to come across a 2000 penny, don't just spend it without a second glance. Examine it under magnification, check for doubling, inspect the edges, weigh it carefully, and compare it with authenticated examples online or through certified grading services, because what you may be holding is not just a piece of spare change but a multi-million-dollar ticket to the upper echelons of coin collecting history. And as the legend of the 2000 1-cent continues to grow, so too does the excitement among collectors young and old, seasoned and new, proving once again that extraordinary things can come in the smallest of packages. So keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and your change jar close, because you never know when your next penny might just be worth $21 million. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the rarest and most valuable pennies in U.S. history, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin stories, and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update on coins that could change your life forever.